Welcome to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast, episode 37.
Everyone wants happiness and success, and we know how to get you there. Come listen to the Leadership Society of Arizona as we teach a proven logic to help you simplify life, overcome challenges, and predict the future. You're listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. Welcome to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. My name is Chuck Zalanis, and I'm joined by Dr. Jacob Kashiwagi, the man with the answers. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Awesome. So the question that I have this week is about authenticity. So is authenticity among friendships important? I know we've talked about how you shouldn't talk about vegetarianism as being the best thing ever to someone who believes that meat is going to lead to the salvation of the world. And this seems smart to do among acquaintances, but maybe doing that among your friends that you regularly meet up with can lead to a lot of patience or self-control. So that would cause some repression, that you're suppressing your feelings and your thoughts, and that could make it so you feel uncomfortable being yourself or expressing your true feelings around people that you enjoy spending time around. So what are your thoughts about authenticity among friendships?
Okay, this is a good question, Chuck. But you're actually asking me the importance of being authentic in relationship to the importance of not saying something that makes other people angry or not doing things that make other people angry.
Yeah, I'm saying that you don't, because you've said that it's important to not say things that make people angry.
That is true.
And then you've also said that, I'm just wondering the relation between being authentic, being yourself, around these people that are your friends, and I'm just wondering the balance.
Yes, okay. So there's really, I think, two things that we're looking at here. On the one side, you have being agreeable, not doing or saying anything that will get people really mad at you or not liking you. On the other side, you have being authentic. And so you're really looking at, is it more important to be authentic or be agreeable? Here's a question, right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if there is if you think being 100% authentic is a good thing around friends, and then I guess if not, then what is that balance?
Okay, so the way I like to look at this is there's a lot of good characteristics to build good friendships, right? Being authentic, being able to be honest, being able to do things with someone and enjoy it. There are things such as to being a good friend is being humor, being able to make other people laugh. That's also a good characteristic. Being agreeable is a good characteristic for making friends. So there's all these different characteristics here that if you had, you'd be a great friend. Okay? Which one is more important? I don't know. Right? So when we're looking at, is it more important to be authentic or be agreeable? I don't know. If for everyone, it might be a little bit different. For some people, they might really want a group of friends that they can't be themselves around. So they might go and do things they don't really like or agree to ideas and things that they don't normally agree with, so that these people might like them. And that's okay. Then they can have these friends. But some people, it might be too much for them. So they might say, I'd rather be authentic. And so if I can't hang out with this group of people being authentic, then maybe, they're not the right friends.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like there would be some like psychological issues with having this this two-face part of who you are. You're saying, "Oh, I really believe this, but I'm going to say this when I'm in front of other people."
Yes, there might be. It just depends on the person, on how much that impacts them. Um, of course, there's always a point that if you cross this point of not being authentic, it really does impact you a lot. And so everybody has a different point with this. Now, when you really look at this, though, being agreeable and being authentic are both good, important things to be able to be and have. But can you be authentic all the way, 100%, and also be agreeable 100% is the question.
Probably not.
So let me put it this way then. The more you can understand other people, are you going to be more agreeable or less agreeable? The more you understand people.
More agreeable, but I think I guess I should revise my answer. I think you can be 100% authentic and be agreeable with people. Not
Yeah,
necessarily 100% agreeable, but you just kind of choose your words, right? Like you don't always say something when someone says like, "Hey, I believe this," and it's opposing your view. You can just say the benefits. You just don't say that you oppose that. That's your opinion, I guess.
you got it.
Okay.
Right? The more you understand other people, understand the buttons that if you push these buttons, they're going to get very mad at you. The more you understand that, the more you know what to say and what not to say,
Mhm.
while still being who you are. But the other thing here is, the more understanding you are about life, about people, about things, are you going to be more accepting of other people's views or less accepting?
Probably more, but I would like an explanation.
So, for example, if you don't know what's going on in the world and what other people are doing, you might think it's so rude to maybe burp after a meal or whatnot. But in some cultures, that might not be so rude. It might be a commonplace type thing. The more your mind is opened and the more you understand what other people are doing, then it's not going to be as offensive to you if someone burps at your dinner table, even though you didn't grow up with it. You understand other people haven't grown up the same way. There's a lot of people out there in the world that might do that type of thing, after eating a meal.
Mhm.
And so the more you understand what's going on, the more accepting you would be of that. If the only thing you knew was that nobody ever makes a noise or burps or whatnot after a meal, and then someone comes in and does that, that might be a lot more offensive to you. Does that make sense? You might be a lot less accepting of that.
Yeah. Okay.
So the more you understand, the more accepting of other people's actions and ideas, which means it's easier to be agreeable.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you are a person who's very flexible, who is very open to all the different ideas in life, which most people who understand what's going on become more open to them, then it's easier to be agreeable.
Yeah.
Then you can be yourself. You can think what you want to think at the same time being completely agreeable with everything you do with other people.
Right.
And so really what it comes down to is being able to be authentic and also agreeable. It takes some capability. It takes understanding people, understanding yourself, understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, should I give you some little hints on what you can do to be able to be more authentic and also keep your friendships and be more agreeable?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. One is first, find friends like you or who understand you more than others. See, when you're first beginning to figure things out, figure out other people and whatnot, you want to make it easy for yourself. You want to make it easy to be authentic and also agreeable. So you find people who are like you. The more like you people are or your friends are, the easier it is for you to be accepted and also for you to accept them.
Yeah.
That's the first step. Find people who are like you. Make friends with people who understand you more than the majority of society. First thing. Second thing, practice with your family. Your family also probably understands you really well. They're a little bit more emotionally connected to you. And so it's a good place to practice this type of thing. In fact, this is where a lot of people learn to be more authentic and also agreeable, is right within their very own families.
I also see the opposite, where people learn like, oh, I shouldn't be authentic with my family because they're not going to agree with what I'm thinking or who I am, and it can cause a lot of family issues.
That is true, and that's really sad. Sometimes you do encounter, people who feel that way with their family. Um, well, your family is the first place to start trying to figure that stuff out,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, it could be really rough with your family, so you have a long ways to go, but it'll be easier to try to be yourself with your family than other people, probably.
Yeah. Well, the reason why people aren't so authentic with their family is because they think that there's going to be a negative consequence of that action.
It's true. Um, and it's the way that they will get with most people, right?
Hmm.
If they can't be authentic with their family, when they actually start getting a connection with someone outside their family, they'll get worried the same way. They'll feel like I shouldn't be myself with this person, or else maybe they won't like me anymore.
Mm,
And so, a family is a good place to start. But you're right. If your family is kind of tough for you, then the third thing you can do, well, practice with strangers. If there's somebody on the street that you don't care if they leave or stay or whatnot, you don't have an emotional connection, it's easier for you to open up to them. Hey, practice with strangers. Um, just be able to practice with someone, right? Being authentic, learning not to upset them with things you say, whatever it might be.
mm,
Now, the fourth would be do something that forces you to be around people and learn more about others. So if there's not individual people you can't spend a lot of time with and practice, being friends with them, whatever it might be, well, then find situations where you're around other people. And it makes you learn more about these people, right? So like a lot of times you might go to maybe a college class or a high school class, or you might even go to the gym. But even though you're around other people here, these things don't necessarily get you to understand the people around you.
mm.
So you need to do something that not only gets you around people, but gets you to learn more about the people around you and understand them more. Okay?
Okay.
And fifth, find a mentor. a mentor can kind of help you with this too. They can point out things that you're doing or things that you might be worried about, but you really shouldn't be worried about.
Okay. Yeah. No, and that makes sense. Hopefully, the mentor you can be authentic with, right?
Yes. If you can't be authentic with your mentor, then you probably need to find another mentor.
Okay. Yeah, that's someone you should really be open with, I would think.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because they're like the person that you vent to.
Yes. And if you're finding a hard time venting to them, then that's an issue.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Jacob, for answering my question. And I hope our listeners enjoyed listening and our viewers enjoyed watching. Have a good day. Thank you for listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. It would be great if you could take a moment to write us a review. For any questions, comments, or topics that you would like to have addressed on the show, email the team at leadaz.org. To learn more about the Leadership Society of Arizona, visit us at leadaz.org.